You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So this channel is called T's Life Tree. On this channel, we like to drop little pine cones of wisdom. And if you don't know what a pine cone of wisdom is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about 5 ways nice guys can win. I spent my whole life, and I'm sure you spent your whole life as well, being told that nice guys finish last, or nice guys never win, or something sort of like that, right? I might have butchered one of them, but I'm sure you've heard something like that. So there is some truth to that, right? There's a sliver of truth. Sometimes you can be nice to a point where you're appeasing and pleasing everybody else, to the point where you're not taking care of yourself, giving yourself that self-care, that self-love. Once you get into that energy, you will lose. You will lose. You're destined to lose. You have to love yourself first. So I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can love yourself first. And even if you're a nice guy, you can still win. Now, before I get into the actual list, I do want to point out something else so people won't be confused. By nice guy, I do not mean pushover. By nice guy, I do not mean that you're going to let anybody do anything to you. By nice guy, what I mean that you're not going to mistreat people on purpose. That's what I mean. You do not make it a habit to mistreat people on purpose with malice intent. Okay, that's what I mean by nice guy. So I don't want you to take kindness for weakness, right? Kindness I'm talking about. Weakness I'm not. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I want you to do as a nice guy, if you want to win, I want you to stay consistent. So what do I mean by stay consistent? By staying consistent, if you are on your goal, if you're on your purpose, you know what you're going, you know where you're going in life. Stay on that course. Do not deviate. Do not be wishy-washy. Make sure you know what you want. Okay, I study someone named Neely Fuller Jr. And in his writings, he often says, stand by your work. What that means is, if you're going a certain direction, live with those consequences, pass or fail, whether you make it there or not, okay? Live with that, okay? Do not be wishy-washy, do not be uncertain. If you're on your purpose, be on your purpose, stay consistent. That's one way a nice guy can end up winning in life. If you're wishy-washy, you're setting yourself up to lose, straight up. Now, the next one, I'm going to touch a few nerves. I want to make a couple of guys unhappy, but it's the truth. I don't want you to simp. Okay, so this one's tricky, by the way, because you can do nice things for women, and then you can simp for women. They're two distinct things, and even though they're similar, right, they can be looked at the same, right? That's why some people, especially in certain communities, they call it the red pill and all this. Anything you do for any kind of woman is considered simping. They think even getting married is simping. You guys are confused. Okay, it's not the same thing. Okay, so let me explain it in my way, the way I like to break it down. Okay, so if you're with somebody, let's say you're kicking it with somebody, you guys are friends, and they just happen to mention that they might be behind on rent, right? Let's say you have it like that. And let's say you just want to help her pay her rent. You can do that, right? It's not necessarily considered simping just because you did it. Let me explain before you argue with me. What makes it simping is if you do it to make her like you more, or to make her want to be with you in some kind of way. That's where you get into the simping thing. That's why you guys are kind of confused. Okay, so some people just have nice hearts. Let's say I'm a millionaire. Somebody's behind $50 on their rent. I loan them 50 here. I give them 50 here. You don't have to give back. I'm good. It's not simping. I'm just helping my friend. But if I say I'm going to give her this $50 or this $500, and she's really going to like me now, I'm simping, because I'm expecting an exchange at the end of the day. I'm expecting for a relationship to grow just because I gave up money. Actually, the opposite happens when you give up money like that, right? So don't simp. Don't be that, right? You can do nice things for people every now and then. And don't don't wrap yourself or put yourself in a position where you're always doing something for anybody, whether it's a woman or anybody else, right? Don't put yourself in that position. Don't make anybody dependent on you in that way, because you'll end up simping at the end of the day. So if you don't simp, that's one way a nice guy can win, if they stay away from that simping. Simping to kill you. Trust me. Number 3, and I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but number 3 is do not get off of your purpose. If you stay consistent, you don't get off your purpose. But not getting off your purpose, you can stay consistent and still get off your purpose too. You can kind of, deviate off a little bit and still, be on it, but you deviate, right? You don't want to do that either. You want to be steady. You want to be stable. You want to be focused on what you're supposed to be pursuing in life, especially if you know that is where you're supposed to be. All right. If that's your life goal, if that's what you are put on this earth for, and you know it, do not waste time. Do not waste energy. Okay. We'll get into that later on the Law of Attraction series coming soon. The next one can be looked at as controversial, depending on who's looking, but you want to get your money up, right? And what I mean by that, I don't mean just literally get money up. What I really mean is you want to build your life, start building yourself, especially financially. If you don't have financial literacy, get some financial literacy. Start making investments, okay, that are going to bear fruit, that are going to grow. Put your money somewhere where you can get compound interest. If you want to know more about compound interest, or if you want to know more about investing, especially in the stock market, we have another channel called T's Money Tree. Check me out on that channel. If you haven't checked that channel, I give you great information on financial literacy on that channel. And I really don't have to go too much further into that one. I think you get it. So the very last one, the last way a nice guy can win is always staying true to who you are. If you always stay true to who you are, you won't have to even worry about ever losing, okay? So I'm going to have to put a personal touch on this to explain what I mean by this. All right, so I grew up in the church, and I grew up to look at life a certain way as well, okay? There came a day where I had to stop being a Christian, okay? And I'm not telling you to be or not to be one. I'm telling you what happened to me personally. Whether you like it or not, it's what happened, okay? When I first had to create that separation, and I'm telling this story for a reason. When I first had to make that separation, I was afraid to tell people. Why? Because I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid people were going to look at me a certain way. Okay. I really didn't want to get into a lot of conversations about it because of my own insecurities. I didn't want people looking down on me or thinking I'm this and that, right? One of the things that people would say when they would find out is, the next thing is, are you an atheist? Okay. It's not the same thing. Okay. I had to separate myself from that. Okay. I learned a few things that I didn't like. Okay. So I had to get to a point where I knew inside that I gravitated more towards, esoteric knowledge and the astrological signs and things of this nature, spirituality, some people call it. And I knew I was drawn more towards that. And I knew that that's where my true self lied. But I had to take that mask off, right? Eventually. So I just took it off. Now I accept whatever judgment I get on it, right? And if you want to get into a real conversation, it's cool with me because I know who I am. Okay. That's what I mean by always stay true to who you are. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you. There's always going to be somebody that disagrees with you. There's always going to be somebody that's going to question whatever you believe in. Even though we're going to that, I don't like to use the word believe a lot. But there's always going to be somebody that's going to challenge what you hold to or what truth that you're drawn to. Okay? But once you start being yourself, you will not lose. So every nice guy out there, if you're a real guy and you don't live your life to mistreat others, and you know that you're on your purpose, you're on your goal, you're on your mission in life, you're doing what you are supposed to be doing, always stay true to who you are. Don't worry about people fighting you. Don't worry about people judging you. Judgment will come. If you go with the crowd and you do everything you can do to fit in with the crowd, everything the crowd is doing, somebody's going to judge you anyway. Somebody in that same crowd who's lining up with what you're lining up with, they're going to judge you anyway. They're just going to judge you in a different way. So be who you are. You can't lose this way. Okay? And it's the reason why I had to do that. That was a message for somebody out there. Okay? Somebody's going to see this, and somebody is going to be moved in some kind of way because of it. All right? Let me wrap this up. I want you to stay consistent. Stay on path. Number four, I want you not to simp. Please don't simp. It'll kill you. It'll destroy your life. Number three, don't get off of your purpose. Stay on your path. Number two, get your money up. Get your financial game together, right? And number one, always stay true to yourself. This has been your man, Brother T. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, I need you to like and subscribe. I also want you to share, comment, and share to somebody who you think needs this information, okay? I enjoyed talking to you guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch today. I hope I touched your life in some kind of way, even if you're mad at me. This has been your man, Brother T, and I'll talk to you on the next video, family. I'm out of here. Peace.